Hello everyone, my name is Shalita Williams, and in today's presentation, I will discuss heart disease and stroke and how it impacts men and women. Public health issue. In this presentation, I will attempt to provide vital information on how heart disease and stroke is affecting the public and the steps we can take to prevent it from happening to more individuals. Heart disease and stroke are among the nation's leading cause of death and disability. Heart disease and stroke can affect anyone without regard to age, race, ethnicity, or sex. The number of people affected by heart disease increases with age in both men and women. According to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, about 610,000 people die of a heart disease in the United States every year. It is now known as the leading cause of death in women. As a survivor of heart disease and a member of the public, I believe that the policies we set will protect our community and ensure a decrease in the number of individuals affected by heart disease and stroke. Our number one goal is to help provide a healthy life for the public. Now let's address the issue. In 2004, cardiovascular disease was responsible for almost 40% of all deaths among Americans. 15.8 million adults had heart disease, 7.9 million had heart attacks, and 5.7 million had strokes. Many people are familiar with the terms heart attack and stroke, but unfortunately, the public does not understand the complex constellation of risk factors, conditions, and diseases that constitute cardiovascular disease. In spite of the progress made in research, women are still dying of heart disease more than all cancers. Who does this issue affect? For years, heart disease was considered a man's disease. However, we now know that heart disease is the leading cause of death in women as well as men. Although men tend to develop coronary artery disease earlier in life, after age 65 the risk of heart disease in women is almost the same as in men. Women have many of the same risk factors for heart disease as men, such as smoking, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. Diabetes is a particularly important risk factor for developing heart disease in women. The symptoms of heart disease in diabetic women can be very subtle. Women may have mild heartburn or breathlessness during physical exertion rather than chest pain that is considered typical in men or in people without diabetes. Now let's take a look at the factors that lead to heart disease and stroke. Family history, poor diet, high blood pressure, sex, age, smoking, stress, and diabetes. One of the leading causes of heart disease and stroke is obesity, with 36%. Policy proposal. To prevent the nation's leading killer in women, I would like to present a policy proposal that will help the public become aware of the seriousness of heart disease and stroke. The outcome in women with heart disease and stroke are becoming worse. I propose we direct our focus on the preventative aspects like getting regular health screenings and decreasing the cost of healthy foods. If the disease is detected, early diagnosis and medication can prevent progression. Implementing lifestyle changes such as heart-healthy diet, exercise, and reducing stress can also avert heart disease. Proposed public health policy. The proposed policy will increase survival rate in women due to early detection and will prevent spreading the disease. Most women are unaware that they have heart disease. There are no particular signs of it. This is why the policy includes women to have regular heart screenings. Changes in the USA food policy, such as an increased subsidies on fruit and vegetable, higher taxes on sugar, sweetened drinks, and more mass media campaigns to change dietary habits could avert hundreds of thousands of deaths from cardiovascular disease. Now let's talk about the costs and the benefits of the policy. As the first and fourth leading causes of death for all Americans, heart disease and stroke contribute to rising health care costs. In fact, 1/3 of the nation's population have some form of cardiovascular disease, including myself. By enacting this policy, the healthcare costs will decrease. If legislators encourage citizens to learn about heart disease and stroke signs and symptoms, and learn how to perform CPR and use an automated external defibrillator, it will reduce the cost of healthcare. Making fruits and vegetables more easily available, particularly for lower income individuals, and reducing sugary drinks consumption could massively help to reduce heart disease deaths in the USA. And here we have the cost and the benefits. Here's a visual of how it affects the healthcare system. Risk of not enacting the policy. If this policy is not enacted, the public will risk a decline in women's heart health. If we wait for the major signs, such as chest pains, shortness of breath, or discomfort, it could be too late. About 47% of sudden cardiac deaths occur outside of a hospital. Early detection is very important. If heart disease is left untreated for too long, it can result to other major health issues in the body. Changing lives. People who are affected by heart disease and stroke have the option to live a healthy and fulfilled life. Early awareness causes for lower risk of further complications and enables the person to be a step ahead with preventative treatments, general lifestyle changes. Not only will these policies better serve those who are affected, but it helps those who aren't affected to examine their behavior patterns and lifestyle choices, because they too realize that no one is exempt for heart disease and stroke. As a person who is living with heart disease, I understand the challenges that come with it. And that is why I created this proposal, because I know that there are 1,000 more people out there that are just like me. There are people who are struggling with paying their health care costs. There are people who are struggling to live a healthy lifestyle but can't, because the cost of fruits and vegetables are so high. At this point, we can no longer afford to wait until people get sick. Health is much more than health care. The answer lies in coordinated preventative action. The proposed policy will make the greatest impact when it optimizes the environments in which people live, work, learn, and play, making healthier behaviors and healthier choices the norm, putting individual behavior in context of multiple level influences. By enacting this policy, communities will begin to understand the importance of environment and policy change to facilitate healthy eating and physical activity, to minimize tobacco use, and address obesity. Urban and community planning are also important areas for public health advocacy. Several studies have found that the way communities are designed and developed impacts access to healthy foods and physical activity opportunities, and correlates with obesity. Again, I believe our goal should be to promote healthy living, especially for those who are impacted by heart disease and stroke. And I believe that together we can make a difference in our community. Thank you for listening, and I hope that you consider this policy proposal.